This podcast is a Radio Mike original production. Head to radiomike.com.au to find out more. All right, ready?
Oh, yeah. Have you pressed go?
Yeah, I've pressed go. All right, welcome to episode 3 of the World Tour, the belated World Tour podcast. They were supposed to happen on the World Tour, but they're now happening a month after the World Tour and beyond. Claire joins me again. You did so good last week.
Thanks so much.
You're not projecting.
I'm sorry, I get nervous.
Yeah, but just...
Thanks for having me.
That's okay. You're welcome. How did you... Well, let's do a new segment. Claire's thoughts on podcasting. How did you find like your first podcast?
It's a lot of talking.
I know.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
fine. Yeah.
Cool. Remember project?
Project my voice.
Pretend right now. Just close your eyes. Pretend that you're a pro podcaster. Like, how would you speak? Go. Close your eyes.
Welcome.
No, you wouldn't do it like you.
20th century boy.
Okay, whatever. Fine.
That's what I think of when I think of professional podcaster.
Oh, thank you, because that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. That's so cool. Why are we doing this on a Thursday afternoon? We should get real jobs. You've got a real job.
I do.
You just do night shift sometimes. So here we are, and we left off last week on our Valencia adventure. And then we were off to Majorca. Now, is it Majorca? Because every time I say Majorca, people are like, oh, it's not Majorca, it's Mallorca or something.
I think it's Majorca, but I think there's two different spellings. Like you can spell it either with a double L or with a J.
Okay.
But
So
I don't know what's right.
yeah, Majorca is an island. Maybe it was it an hour flight from Valencia airport to Majorca?
Something like that.
I can't remember who we flew. Did we fly
Vueling.
Vueling, which is a Spanish airline that we had flown predominantly. And Majorca was really fun, but I will say it was the beginning of quite a tumultuous week of the trip for us.
Yes.
Now, we were there for 4.5 weeks. This is the beginning of the hardest week, basically, I would say.
Yeah.
Which might surprise you. So we fly in. I think our flight was in the afternoon, and we must have just Ubered to the airport, Ubered from Majorca airport. I don't really remember much of that. But then we were staying in Palma, which is like Majorca's interesting because like there's sort of like a party side for young people and then like a chill side for old people.
Yeah.
Now, we quickly learned that by preference, we were staying in the chill side for old people.
Yeah.
And let's just say this part of the trip, we knew we were going to be on like an island. Like we wanted to sort of relax. This was just like we'd have a big sort of first week with the wedding in Portugal and you had the hen's night, and then we'd come to Majorca and just relax. Yeah. So we were staying in like a 5-star hotel. Like we splurged a bit on this hotel because we wanted to have like a really comfortable kind of space. Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we arrive at the hotel in a cab, and you know, it's times like this you realize what you're paying for with when you pay for like a proper hotel, because the hotel workers come out, open the door to the cab, grab your bags out, you come in to check in, and they go,
What had a seat there. They're like, sit down.
Sit down, take a seat. Have you been with us before? No, it's our first time. Oh, great, welcome. And then...
Would you like some champagne?
And we were like, yes.
Mike actually said, is it free?
Yeah. So we got a free glass of champagne just for being there. And then we checked in and everything, and it was like a labyrinth of a hotel. We had to go down like 2 elevators to get to the room as well. Nice room. And yeah, nice hotel, curtains you control with a button, lights you control with a button. But it wasn't like massive. Like, I actually think for what we paid, it wasn't like incredible.
Yeah. No, the service was good.
Service
the
was
hotel
amazing.
was like a bit, I don't know. Old.
It was also
just
like
old.
Yeah, it was old.
Styled.
And you could hear like all the plumbing as well.
That's
Remember?
right.
Like
That was weird.
if someone above you was having a shower or flushing the toilet, like you heard the water.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That was actually weird. Yeah.
Bed was comfy though.
The bed was so comfy. It was massive as well. I don't think I said in the Barcelona one. Remember the Barcelona bed was like so big that like I couldn't even see you
Yeah,
from the
it was
other
the
side.
best.
That was the best.
So good.
But it was good. And so Majorca we didn't explore very much at all because we didn't want to. We just wanted to relax, chill, read by the pool, go for a swim, listen to just chill by the pool literally. So I can't even remember what we did the first day.
I think once we got there, I think we went to the pool for a little bit and then we just went out for dinner.
Yeah, we went for a walk. So we went to get dinner at some sort of,
a lot of places didn't open till like 7:30 or something. But
Yeah.
we were like, we're hungry now, so
Yeah.
let's just find somewhere.
But the other thing, remember like a lot of places there were actually closed because it's like a
Yeah.
touristy area. And I guess like, I don't know, I guess COVID maybe killed off a lot of tourism maybe. So a lot of places in Majorca were closed. But then we found this like bistro, bar, gastro kind of thing.
Gastro.
Don't they call them that?
Gastro? I don't
A
think so.
gastro. A gastro?
I don't.
Yeah, they do.
I've never heard anyone
it
call
up.
a restaurant a
Hang on,
gastro.
I'll use my Apple Watch. Hey Siri, what's a gastro?
Here's what I found.
Oh. Is it not a gastro? A gastro bar.
Bistro?
No, gastro. I'm sure that's a thing, but I don't have your phone's there. Where's my phone?
I don't
Anyway.
think any. It's
Okay, it wasn't a gastro. Whatever. Fuck it. It was a bar. It was a bar with food.
Yes.
I think that's a gastro.
Okay. You can call it a gastro if you want.
So, we go there. There's a guy outside who I guess works there. And he's like, you guys looking for somewhere to eat? We're like, yeah, and like maybe like a mojito. Because again, recurring theme of this series, like me and Claire like mojitos. And so like, do you have mojitos? And he says, Claire,
Oh, yes. Best mojito on the island.
yeah, best mojito on the island.
Yeah. Sit down
best
here.
mojito.
Sit down here.
Yeah, great. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll get 2 mojitos and like we'll just look at the food. Yeah, no worries. So he brings out the 2 mojitos. Hey, they're mojitos. They're certainly mojitos. I'll tell you that much.
Wouldn't say they're the best, but
Oh, well.
haven't had any others on the island yet.
Yeah,
so.
true. We can't compare, but they are definitely mojitos. I also ordered a Coke, but they never brought
That's
it out. So
right.
hey, if you want a Coke there, don't order one. Do you remember in Portugal, like all the guys who were trying to sell me drugs as well? Like, hey, you want weed? You want Coke? Heroin? Ecstasy? I'm like, no, I'm okay. And so then we order food and I ordered the garlic prawns and the guy was like, best prawns on the island. I remember thinking, well, there's certainly prawns on the island. And what did you get? Do you remember what you got?
I think we just got some stuff to share.
Oh, but you didn't have the prawns because you don't like prawns.
Yeah, I think that was the night actually when they brought out the prawns
Yeah.
that I said,
They look alive.
foul.
Yeah, that's right. The guy brings the prawns out and puts them in front of me and he's like, Claire just goes, foul. And I was like, you can't
They just
say
still
that.
have
These are the
their
best
eyes.
prawns on the island.
I just don't like when they've still got their eyes and their little.
No, I think you just
hair
don't
bits
like
on.
seafood.
I don't like when it looks like
It's alive.
still
yeah.
an animal.
Yeah.
Crush it up into something else.
Crush it up into a paste.
Shape it into a nice square or
yeah.
something. No
Cube.
worries.
And so we ate there. Not much else to tell from there, but I think the key takeaway was the guy just whatever we ordered, just being like,
Best on the island.
best water on the island, best Coke on the island, best mojito, best prawns on the island, none of which was true. It was a nice
fine.
place, but it was not the best on the island by any means. And then
We got ice cream after.
That's right.
That was the first night we got ice cream there.
yeah, and
First of
I
many.
can't remember what I got, but it was good. It's
Yeah.
nice ice cream. Went for a walk, went to sleep, really knackered. No. Yes. Then next day, was it just by the pool?
I think we literally just stayed by the pool pretty much all day. Maybe went for a walk.
Really nice
We
pool.
met Jess that night.
Then we met Claire's friend Jess, who was also in Majorca by coincidence. And and then this is like a sort of, we got a great meal. We got Italian there, best Italian on the island. No. But I got like a marinara pasta with seafood, and so did Jess.
Yeah,
and then
that's
you
right.
got a pizza, lame. And then we got ice cream. But then this leads into the next day, right, of Majorca.
Yes.
So when we were booking hotels for Majorca, Claire was like, apparently there's a bunch of WaterSlide parks in Majorca. And I was like, can we please go to a WaterSlide park? Because I love water slides. I just think like Wet n Wild is my favorite theme park. Like I love water slides so much. And I just thought we've got to go to a water slide park in Majorca. And Claire thankfully said yes. Right.
Yes.
And you wanted to go.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And then we invited Jess as well to come with us. And it was her last day in Europe as
Yeah.
well. And she came to this water slide park and we went.
What was it called? Aqualand.
And when we landed at the airport, the reason we chose it is
Yeah.
because at the airport there was all these ads for Aqualand.
That's right.
Like, let's just go to Aqualand. So we're waiting for this cab and we get in the cab and I say to the guy, can you take us to Aqualand? And he's like, yeah, of course. Anyway, remember I was speaking Spanish to
Yeah.
him and I asked him if
You
he's
kept,
been to
like
Aqualand.
using Google Translate to try and speak to him in Spanish, didn't you?
Yeah. So we go to Aqualand and I'm going to say one of the highlights of the trip.
There was no one else there,
Yeah.
for starters, except the staff.
So there was it was a ghost town. Like, you know, at some theme parks or waterside parks, you have to wait for half an hour just to go down a slide that takes 2 seconds. We would just walk to the top, go down, come back up, do it again. And I think you realize how tired you get from walking up all the stairs because usually you're just standing on the stairs slowly moving up. But like at this one, we were just like walking up the whole steps in one go and then sliding down, which was making me really tired.
Yeah.
But also at the water park, actually we'll go in order. So we do the first slide. What's that?
The first slide was that the one that I didn't like?
No, the first one was just those like sort of basic steep sort of slide. But then the second, and that was fun.
Yeah.
Then the second slide we went on was this kind of, it was like a slide that just, I can't even remember. Can you remember?
I think it was like a tunnel, like one of those tunnel ones. But then at the end you just
Opens
like a
up.
bowl.
Yeah. So it's like straight down, steep, into like a bowl that you go around and around and around until you fall through the hole
Yeah.
into a pool.
Yeah.
And none of us liked it. And that was a worrying point of the day.
That's when you hit your head really hard.
I hit my head.
I also hit my head and I had like one of those like claw clips
Yeah.
in and it broke my clip. Do you remember? I hit my head so hard.
Oh, did
that
it break your clip?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. But I went down first and I actually remember wanting to call out to you and be like, don't go down because I hated it. It was that bad. Like my head was just hitting the thing and water was going in my eyes. I was like, oh, this has been a big mistake and Claire's going to like be crying at the end. I actually thought you'd hate it.
I did.
Anyway, so then I think we just took a little break, which was the point at which I think Jess went to get a drink or something. And then me and you were together and I said to you, hey, I think I might have COVID because I had a really scratchy throat. Unbeknownst to us at this point, it was known that somebody at the wedding we went to had COVID and a lot of people were testing positive for it. So it was very possible that I did have COVID and I felt really weak and out of breath and had a scratchy throat.
But I was just like, no, it's because you've been screaming on the slides. You've got a sore throat from screaming.
That's what Claire
It's
said. And
I
was
do
like,
too. It's fine.
yeah. Anyway, the rest of that day was awesome. And because there was no lines, like we stayed for like 3.5 hours and did everything.
Yeah.
Like, what was the best? Like, I'm trying to think of some of like the Python one.
Yeah, that was good.
The ones where you go down like all around and then it goes like a steep drop and then you come back up and sort of just go like in a parabolic kind of shape, to use a maths analogy. That one's fun.
That was the one Jess got stuck on though. Do you remember?
Yeah, she got stuck and had to paddle her way down and then force herself down the really steep drop, which usually you can't see coming, so it's really scary. Yeah. I can't even remember many more of them.
I liked the one that the three of us were
the
in
big tube one. Yeah. They were like, you guys know water slides. Like, were there any others that were like something you had never experienced before? Like,
the
like
really steep one where you went like face first.
Yeah, those were fun. Yeah.
I didn't like
You
that
didn't
one.
like that because you'll scare.
Water got in my eyes.
Oh. But it was an awesome day.
Yeah, it's fun.
I don't know. Is there anything else that happened at that? Oh, we were sitting on the lounge chairs when we had a break, and then the woman started speaking to us in Spanish, and it turns out you had to pay to sit on the lounge chairs.
But we'd already sat there for like a good 10 minutes. Like we'd had our rest and then we were actually getting up to leave.
Sucked in Aqualand. We stole a lounge chair right off you. Were there any other slides?
We went on that lazy river.
Oh, that
one.
was boring.
There was like, you had to like paddle yourself. There was no like.
And it was cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was boring. There was no motion in the lazy river.
You
like
had
you
to
actually just had
yourself.
to propel yourself through on this ring. So it actually wasn't very comfortable. What was the one that was like the devil's Diego's curse or something? You have no idea. Remember we were making a joke because it was like Diego's curse or devil's curse. And I was like, oh, devil's curse.
I can't remember.
Okay, well, that's fun for the listeners. So anyway, water park was great. Left about 2:00 and then got a bus back and we were really exhausted and wet. And then it started pissing down rain. If you listen to the last episode, torrential level rains again.
Yeah.
Like extreme rain. And then we just went back to the hotel. And at this point is probably when I started raising alarm bells.
We fell asleep for a while, didn't we? Like a couple of hours.
Yeah, we fell asleep and then we ordered room service and got burgers, which I could barely even eat.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I think it was like 8:00 and we were just like, let's just go to sleep. It's pissing down rain. There's nothing we can do. And well, what's your memory of the night, of the evening?
I think, I just remember we went to sleep pretty early. And then like during the night, I just remember you like waking me up. Claire. I was like, yeah. You're like, I'm so cold.
It's like the Dementors
And you were like-
from Harry Potter.
You were like shivering though. Like you were actually like seemed so unwell.
Yeah.
And I remember.
Because I was.
Yeah. I remember initially I think I was just like, oh, come here. And like.
Yeah. And I was like,
snuggled
no,
in and then I realized
cold.
that you were actually like
Having chills.
like feverish.
Yeah.
So I think I like went and got you trackies and jumper and stuff and
You-
got you some Panadol and Nurofen.
Yeah, so you lay it on because I was freezing and I couldn't warm up. So you layered everything on me. And then I think and then I was like, oh, that's nice. And then I think I woke up like 2 hours later just on the complete
sweating.
opposite end of the spectrum, being like, oh my God, I'm burning up, and I just took off all my clothes. And you were like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm just so hot. Were you confused?
No, because I knew you were just having fevers.
Yeah, and so like again,
And I think at that point, like we had got messages from the others being
knowing.
like, hey, I've tested positive, or
Yeah.
like, I think I have COVID.
So
Like from the people we had shared the accommodation with in Valencia.
that was a horrific night, and I woke up just feeling like complete shit, to be honest. And I had a shower, and I remember I was just sitting down in the shower, like letting water go in my face. And then we went to the pool. We must have gone to the pool another day because we had a bunch of mojitos by the pool.
Yeah.
Which brings back the story of best mojitos on the island, because the mojitos at the hotel were way better than the
really
ones
good.
at the gastro.
I don't think it's called a gastro.
And then you could order them like from your lounge chair and they would bring them to you. That was so good, remember?
Yeah, it was good.
And then
And they always bought like chippies too.
they brought crisps, yeah. And then, so, that day I was like, I guess we just lay by the pool and I'll hopefully feel better, like just from resting. And you kept being like, hey, do you want a mojito? And I was like, no, I don't want a fucking mojito. I'm like so sick. The last thing I want is alcohol. And you were like, I'm going to get one.
That only happened once.
That happened once, but it was funny. And then that day, just from literally sitting by the pool for like 8 hours, I actually felt completely better at the end of that day. So it was a 24-hour in and out, right? And, went for a swim, enjoyed sort of the rest of that time in Majorca. Then your friend, oh yeah?
Yeah, I was just going to say we went for dinner with Sam that night.
So because we'd been in Spain and Portugal, like, lovely food, but not a huge variety of food. Would you agree? Like a lot of kind of like fried, salty kind of, I don't know. Yeah, that kind of
like
food.
Seafood and meat and
Like crumbed food.
Yeah.
And so I was just craving something different. So I looked up, and I love Japanese. So I wrote Japanese food Majorca. Turns out there was a Japanese buffet in around the corner from the hotel. So me, you, and your friend Sam went, and because he came to Majorca. He was just doing like a random trip where he went anywhere.
Well, he was supposed to be going to Morocco, but because they had the earthquake, he changed his plans.
He went to a different M country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that funny?
Majorca's not a country.
Yeah, a M place. And so he came. We went to that Japanese buffet. And because I was so excited about it, but I actually instantly regretted it as soon as we went in, because
We were the only people there.
but also just, I think it just clicked. I was so almost like blinded and deluded by my yearning to have sushi that only when we got there and sat down did it sort of equate to me that like, why would there be a good all-you-can-eat Japanese place? First of all, it's all-you-can-eat, which sucks all the time. Secondly, we're in the middle of Spain. We're like as far away from Japan as you could get. And then they just start sending the food down. I had a salmon nigiri, and it tasted like that salmon had been sitting in a freezer for like a year. And I had two, and then Sam was like, oh, we're going to get food poisoning from this. And then I think you guys ended up enjoying it way more than me. I've tapped out.
But I think it's because we're having like chips and like non-Japanese food,
Chips and,
non-seafood.
like, fried chicken and shit. I was trying to have an authentic Japanese experience in Spain, and it wasn't working. And then we were like, let's get ice cream. And I said to you, I'm so tired and I hated that. And I like feel like I'm going to be sick. And like, so then then we were walking to the hotel, and Sam was like, do you guys actually want ice cream? And I think you were like, nah.
I was stuffed.
No one wanted to do anything. So then we just left. Yeah. And I think that's the night we ended up sitting in the hotel lobby, and there was a guy playing like Spanish guitar, and we just got I got a lemonade, and you got like
we both got Sprite.
We got Sprite. We were just having a Sprite and watching this guy play guitar, then went to bed. Yeah. And then was that our last night in Spain?
Must have been, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
What did we do the next day? Or did we fly out really early?
No, we woke up, and do you remember I woke up then feeling like absolute trash. Like I had a really like stuffy nose, and my ears were at me, my throat was at me. Like I was really sick, but you were like, oh, well, I feel good. But you had all the Panadol from the day before.
I was loaded up on as many drugs as possible to numb the pain.
I sent you out to get Panadol in the morning.
That's right.
And then
I went to the chemist.
I don't know what to do because I'm like feel really sick, but we're supposed to fly out this afternoon.
I knew what to do. We go to the airport and get on the plane.
Anyway,
there was no other option for me.
And
so we flew out to Paris that afternoon, I guess.
But the flight was really delayed. Do you remember we were at the airport for ages?
Yes. So we were supposed to fly out at like 2 o'clock. No, I think it was 2. And then it was like, oh, your flight's been delayed. We were flying with was that Ryanair or Vueling?
I think it was Vueling again.
It was Vueling, okay. And it was like, your flight's been delayed an hour. And then it was like, your flight's been delayed again. And then I looked at it and it wasn't supposed to fly out till I think 7:30 or something.
I think at some point it said 9:30 or 9 p.m. or something.
So it's
get
like
into Paris at 11.
Yeah, we were supposed to get into Paris at 11. And so we were like, fucking hell, you were really sick. It was a terrible, terrible time at the airport. Had a very nice conversation with 2 Swiss guys at a cafe. And we were like talking to them about Switzerland, sorry, and the Women's World Cup and stuff. They were really nice. One of them was called Felix. No, one of them was called like David and the other was called Casper. Because remember he said
the friendly ghost.
He said Casper and then me and Claire just go, oh yeah, Casper the friendly ghost. And he was like, oh, everyone always says that. And I was like, yeah, because in like Australia or even like America, Casper like isn't really like there's not really many.
No, it's
do
not
you
a
know a
common
Casper?
name. No.
Yeah. Casper's not a common name. Like maybe in Switzerland it's more common, but in the West, in inverted commas, like it's not really a common name. So when someone says Casper, I instantly the only point of reference I'd have is Casper the friendly ghost.
Yeah.
I don't know why I told that. It's just interesting. It's just a tidbit. But then we told them, yeah, our flight's been delayed 5 hours, and they were like, oh, you should complain. And do you remember Casper actually swore a lot, and it was really funny? Like he'd be like, don't come to Switzerland. It's fucking shit. And I was like, oh, really? Yeah, it's fucked. It's fucked, man. It's shit. Don't come there.
That's right. We
just
hated
thought
it.
it was really funny because he would just swear all the time. And then, yeah, I think that was like we just sat at the airport.
We went to do you remember we left the airport though and went to the shops?
Yes,
And then
we had to get a cab to go to the shopping centre just to do something for 5 hours.
But then when we're at the shopping centre, the flight time changed again.
So we had to go
instead of
back.
it being 9 p.m, it was like 4 p.m. or something.
Yeah, so then we went back.
Yeah.
And then...
I think we ended up flying out at like 5.
Yeah, and we got to Paris maybe at about 8 p.m.
I think we landed like 7.
We didn't get to the hotel till like 8:39.
It took ages to get a cab from the airport. Yeah.
So, and that's the start. Like I would say Paris was the most
Well, the
tumultuous
flight was
journey.
really bad for me.
Oh yeah, you were crying.
Because my ear, I think
So-
because I was so sick, my ears,
Claire's ears popped.
and it was like my right ear was like excruciatingly painful.
Yeah,
Like-
and it was really. I felt so helpless because you were just like in
was
extreme pain.
Literally like crying.
I
It
was
so
fine.
painful.
You're crying and in pain, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And we had already had a shit day. You were sick, and then we landed in Paris. And that's not all that happened that day because a lot
gets
happened.
worse.
A lot happened when we got to Paris, but that'll have to wait for another episode. So Claire, sign off with the catchphrase.
See you next time. Is that what it was?
Think so. But yeah, next week we'll do Paris, all bar Disneyland.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a Disneyland special.
Okay.
Then we'll do London and then Ireland. Yeah?
Yep.
Cool. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you're enjoying these. And again, sorry they're delayed, but like it's cool to get them out now and it's cool to do them with Claire. I'm glad you're doing them with me because it's fun reminiscing on our holiday. There's photos on Insta and we probably won't make clips of these or anything, but there's videos for Patreons only, patreon.com/Radio Mike. Watch us record and laugh and all the rest of it. Sorry, Claire, do the catchphrase again.
See you next time.
Bye. This podcast was a Radio Mike original production. Head to radiomike.com.au to check out all our other content, stay up to date at radio.mike on Instagram, and get in touch, radiomikepod@gmail.com.